Hello my good friends and welcome to episode 46 of One Credit Classics. We're back on the Super Nintendo and we are back in 1993. Starwing if you played the EU version, which is what we're going to have a look at, or Star Fox if you played the US. Now the Japanese version of this game came out in February 93, North American version was March 93 and EU was June 93. So followed on quite nicely really. You didn't see those massive big release gaps and there's a reason for this. This was showing off a new piece of technology for Nintendo. This game itself, Starwing, Star Fox, whatever you want to call it, is a rail shooter developed by Nintendo themselves and produced by who else but Shigeru Miyamoto. The game takes place in the Lilac system, and somebody said to me the other day about why the game was called Lilac Wars when it was ported to the 64. That's why, that's the name of the system, which contains two key planets, Corneria, which is good, and Venom, that is evil. The story is that the evil scientist Andross gets banished from Corneria, and starts a war from Venom. General Pepper, who's head of defense, commissions the R-Wing ships, which are the ones you can see there, but he hasn't got enough skilled fighters, so they have to call for Star Fox. The band that you see there, a skilled band of mercenaries, Fox McCloud, Peppy Hare, Slippy Toad, and Falco Lombardi, who take up the challenge and try and beat Andross and stop a massive war. This was the first game to feature the Super FX chip, which was designed by two guys called Jeff Klein and David Hatt for Argonaut Games. Now, the way the Super FX chip worked was it was a chip that fitted onto the actual cartridges itself rather than the SNES. So it wasn't modifying the system, it was modifying the individual cartridges. It was used to render 3D polygons and to assist the SNES in advanced 2D effects. People look at Super FX and they think of games like this straight away, but what people don't realize is there was two generations of Super FX, and games later on featured the Super FX chip where you really wouldn't kind of think it at all, really. You wouldn't think it possible that those kind of games would be the kind of, this is the bread and butter of what you think of. You say to somebody, oh, what's the Super FX chip? They'll just think of stuff like this. There was 9 games that came out on the Super FX chip, the 2 iterations, and there was 5 that were actually unreleased. On the original Super FX chip, you had Dirt Racer, Dirt Tracks FX, this, Star Fox, Starwing, Vortex, and Stunt Race FX. And then with the FX2, which was slightly modified, you had Doom, you had Winter Gold, Star Fox 2, which never got released but is seeing the light of day now with the Super Nintendo Mini, and Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island with this Super FX chip. Not something you'd think of, really. This game is one of those iconic games because it looks so of the time. The polygon graphics, everything looking so angular, the rotations, everything about this game is awesome, is Nintendo, is 90s. I had this myself when it first came out, not long after it first came out. I remember at the time I really wanted Mortal Kombat 2. And I never got it at the time. I had me and my friend, like, that's a great thing about games back then though. I had this and my friend had Mortal Kombat 2 and we like swapped cartridges for a week. So I had Mortal Kombat for a week, he had Starwing for a week, and when I got it back, I'd beaten it, but I hadn't beaten it on all the difficulty settings, so I really wanted to kind of experiment and play it again and stuff. And that was the great thing with cartridge gaming then, that you could just do that, provided your friends were pretty sound, as all mine were, in all fairness to them. And this was one of those games that everybody played. The funny thing is, if you look at the actual cartridge itself, so if you imagine you've got a SNES cartridge in your hand, if you turn it kind of away from you so you can see the bottom pins that you plug into the actual SNES, there's 2 extra pins. So this game was unmoddable with the Game Genie and things like that. So what it basically meant was the fact that the cartridge looked exactly the same, the board was the same width, but there was 2 extra pins, one on each side, that plugged in and harnessed the kind of extra power, really. This is one of those games that everybody's either seen, played, or heard of, and it's a game that I had a lot of conversations with a lot of people about this, but one really good one with my good friend Mr. Callum Stannard, collector extraordinaire, big Nintendo fan like myself, and we had a big conversation after the F-Zero video, and he was saying about Starwing, and I said, yeah, I should really have a look at it, because it's just one of those games that I love playing, and I started playing it, and I was like, yeah, I remember why I really love this. So what we are going to do is we're going to fly through space, we're going to blow up things, and we are going to save the world. Let's do it, shall we? Let us once again endeavor to save the planet. God, I love this game so much. So, if you control different control things for it, you find that the good thing is that you get a chance to see what it all kind of looks like. So you can kind of change the inputs like that. I always go for Control A, which is the standard one, as boost and brake, so you can go forward quickly and backwards quickly on X and B. It feels kind of natural to have the top button make you go faster and the bottom button make you go slower. You got your smart bomb on Y, and you've got your blaster on. Your smart bomb on A, excuse me, and your blaster on Y, and select to change views. And I have it the inverted way, which seems to make more sense, obviously with up and down opposite ways. It's really weird because on a lot of other flying games, the first thing I do is switch that around, but on this, because I played it that much, it just seems perfectly natural. And we are going for a game, not training. There is a training mode, which is good if you've not played it before. And as you see here, there's 3 different paths through it. They all vary in kind of difficulty and a few other bits and pieces like that. There's more levels on certain ones. We're going to go for the standard one. So we're going to go through the asteroid field, take on the space armada, round the meteor storm, and then down to Venom. There's a couple of the others that are really kind of good, and I recommend if you do play it through, you do have a crack at trying to get there. There's also a hidden level there. You can see that black hole. You get that by accessing a few secret things, and there's quite a lot of like Easter eggs and secret bits and pieces in this game, which adds so much to its replay value. There he is, bless him. Star Fox team, our last resort is to counter-attack Venom. Good luck. So here we are starting on Corneria.
Good luck.
Thanks. Okay, that's scaling. This was exactly what you got on I'm just going to keep calling it Starwing. This is exactly what you got on Starwing. This is Super FX by numbers. You can't imagine a more Super FX game than this. Let's go. Music's really good as well on this. Right, so there's your team. Your controls are fairly kind of standard as we saw in the kind of previous one. What you've got to watch for, here he is. Show off. You can get bonus stuff for going through there. I did see, you know, bless you. That frog's hilarious because he just always, him and the rabbit always getting loads of trouble. The falcon's a bit of a dick, to be fair, but he's really good. I can't remember which one's which. I want to say Peppy, like Slippy's the rabbit, surely. Oh no, Peppy's the rabbit and Slippy's the frog, and Falco's the falcon, quite obviously. Hey up. No, it isn't. See, look at him. Absolute dick. We're on the same team here, mate. As long as stuff dies and we don't, it doesn't matter, does it? It does to him anyhow. Falco's got a proper attitude. Get that, that's an extra smart bomb. You can see there I use my kind of boost there to go forward a little bit. Works in the opposite way. If you hit B, you do like an air brake type thing. You can also go kind of, you can fly on your side, which on loads of bits is dead handy. Because one thing that's interesting about this is like, if you hit like the wing, it can kind of break and fall off. Sorry, I'm going to have a crack at that. God, I might struggle here. Oh, pissing missed it after all that. Unbelievable. Oh, no, it's put me in a tough spot because these things. Problem is, if you don't take stuff out quickly, what you tend to find is that they just get loads of shots off. Oh, in the floor there. In the floor's not too bad on these. It does it. Right, I'm going to speed through here because they're going to fall in. Oh, so if I didn't get that robot, it's pretty bad. Here he is. In trouble straight away. Don't worry about it. It'll happen a lot through the course of this run, I'd imagine. Right, through here. Now, this acts as a save point. So if you do die, you get some energy back with it. But if you do die, you start from the middle bit. Every now and then, you'll shoot the enemies, and they'll release these, like, yellow-looking, spinning, kind of circle things. They're just energy. Something's changed. There's an enemy gauge, which can only mean one thing. It is boss time. Now, the bosses on these are pretty spectacular, to be honest with you. They're a big part of kind of the attraction, really. A lot of times with shooters, you find that like bosses aren't that hard, and it's just mainly getting the pattern of the levels right. On this, it's kind of a bit of both. Some of the bosses are really tough, Might drop a smart bomb here if I can. See if I can get it off early. Oh, I missed that. Have I? Oh no, I didn't. Shot! Right, I love how I played that down a little bit. Now those tits, those things really hurt, as you can see. Can't take too many of them. But he's alright now. He's going the other way, so I might be able to finish him off here. Get a few shots in. No, he's back. You see the areas that I need to hit? There you go, are those areas on the top. Kaboom! And while that massive explosion that probably should have killed me goes off, I will have a sip of tea and we will see what percentage we got. Did anybody get it? No, well I did, but I'm at the front, so what are you going to do? Good job, team. Yeah, Slippy's the frog. Oh, 95, nice. Quite a good little performance. That onward into the asteroid belt. Andross's forces intend to build a base in this area. Destroy their rock crusher. Will do. Yes, I remember this bit. Just have to think then. Now this one, it defaults your view to the cockpit view. And I always find this level does make a bit more sense played kind of cockpit. So I'll stick with it for this, I think. It's still basically this. All the controls do exactly the same. It's just harder to see regarding it. If you do the spin, it's kind of harder to physically like see where you're going with it in terms of getting out of the way of stuff. Hey up. That was what I was on about. Oh, I missed it, but that's it. That's energy. It's hard to hit that because they're rotating as they come towards you. So if you're really struggling for health, one of the best things you can do. Here he is. Mind you, why'd you tell me there was somebody on you then? You should crack on next time, son. Absolute dickhead. I mean, he's the second best one on this team apart from me, but I didn't stop him being... There's no need... There we go, got that. No need to be such a clown, is there? But yeah, that's the whole narrative is that, like, Slippy the frog is, like, lovable, but always gets in loads of trouble, so you always end up rescuing him. Peppy the hare's slightly more capable, and is pretty kind of... it is good, but once again, gets in a bit of trouble. And, bollocks if I missed that. And the lovable falcon is really good. Hardly ever gets in trouble, but if he does and you help him out, you bloody know about it. Shut up. You can't actually hit. You can hit your own team, but you can't actually hurt him. So he should just shut up, shouldn't he? Stop pissing, moaning. These are pretty nasty. If you let them get too close, it's very easy to get hit in that. I can do with that, to be honest with you. Go. As you can probably tell from what I've done so far, the gold ones the gold meteors you can blow up. Hey up, somebody on. Oh, there he is. Got him. Oh. See, I was a bit longer there, so we ended up taking it. And this bit's a bit tougher, really, because those things really hurt. And tits, as I was going to say, they're dead easy to get hit by. Right, rock crusher. This isn't too hard, in all fairness. If you time a... is he going to fire from that side? Ah, see, I've waited a bit too long there. And I've missed it. Bollocks. I shouldn't have used too hard. This is garbage. Such waste. Still, it's taking them out, I suppose. It's not an entire waste, but I need to start saving up because there's some bits I really need bombs for later on. Right, so what'll happen now is I should be able to just focus on the middle bit. With this, you've got to try and not get too greedy. and make good use of your brake and accelerator type thing. Beautiful. I mean, I was a bit slow saving Peppy, bless him, but apart from that, we did all right there. Yeah, he's fine. Job's a good one. No sweat for you, son. I didn't really see you do that much, if I'm being honest. But nice. Stage 2 clear. Good percentage, is it? Oh, 89. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Used a couple of bombs, though. Bonus 1 credit. I mean, what does that even mean? It means nothing on this run. Bonus life would be more useful, to be honest with you, because I get the feeling it's going to get pretty airy later on. Still, we'll see. Onwards to the Space Armada. The Andross Space Armada. How many times are you going to say that? The Space Armada consists of powerful battleships. Destroy their energy cores. Will do, Gaffer. Right, I'll probably fly outside the ship for this one, as much as it'll give me the inside view. Because there's a few bits you need to do. That make it kind of a bit easier. I need to get that. Nice. Oh, I've changed tits, I didn't mean to do that. Right, it's better. Right, we're sorted now. All I did there was, I forgot how many. There's actually two views from within the Nice, extra ship. Now that is useful. Very useful in a game like this. It's Star Warsy, this, isn't it? In places. Especially this bit around here. Right. There's a dead Star Wars bit in a sec, to be honest with you. I think this is probably like Miyamoto's kind of homage to Eyes forward, Fox. Oh. Oh, shut up. Absolute dickhead. Everybody else, dead nice. The thing is, right, you don't mind them not being very good because they've got a nice attitude. You know what I mean? God loves a trier. But this absolute dick. Oh, Jesus, I didn't need that. Right, let's go in, shall we? I just hope there's a bit of energy down here. Because I could really do with some. Shield. Now that is handy. Very handy. Right, what I need to do here. There you go, I got it. What you can do if you can't quite get there is you can hit your back thrusters and give yourself a bit of extra time, which is very handy. Don't worry about it. I got you. Get through there, shall we? Oh, can we? No, didn't quite get it, unluckily. The shield's just about to wear off. Yeah. Just when I bloody need it. Yeah, sod it. What else are we going to do? See, like, proper use of your back thrusters on here, yeah, is it absolutely friggin' essential. Oh, shit. I didn't hit too much sound. Right. I think we need to. Can hit the retros to slow down. There you go. That was fairly, I say fairly perfect because it's never perfect, but that was a fairly good example of that slow down strap. Because the problem is you can go right through it, which is no good at all. Right. Oh, dickhead. cut me off. So I've been at a roundabout. Right, what next? Oh, more of these, is it? I mean, where did that come from? Just off screen, probably. Oh, God, that's close. Good to get in there if we could. Oh, no, we're alright there. You can't go too far or too low off the screen. The arrows kind of nearly always guide you there, so you're generally alright. As you can see, if I get too far down, I get those 2 pink arrows to go up, so I've got to try and stay on target a little bit. These bits as well, like when you go into a space like this, it does it automatically for you, so hang on. Down, yeah, that's it. With them, what you got to remember is just where the flat line is. So, like, if it's a triangle, the point of a triangle is the top, the flat line's the bottom. So you go wherever the flat line is. Alright, so the flat line is at the bottom, so it means it's going to go up. So I'll wait at the bottom here. It'll go up. Flat line is top, and so on. I've got to have it. Yeah, got to have some way of remembering. If you shoot it, it changes to which one it is. So be careful if you do. Nice. Nice cheeky bit of energy there. And that's why it's handy as well, as you can see, having the dual laser power up. Interestingly enough, if you slam one of the wings into the deck, like it'll break off, and you can get like repair droids that come and fix your R-wing, which is cool. Right, onwards. It flies this bit automatically. This isn't me here. This isn't me here. Onward into the energy core chamber. Easy to mess up this. Very easy to mess up. What you've got to do is dodge those here. But what we've done there, quite nicely, we've taken one of those out. So this should slow down here in a sec. Yeah. Oh, just by it. Nice. This dickhead, look at him. It's alright. Oh, we've taken the other one out, have we? God, I didn't even notice. Too busy trying to take that other one out. Right. Nice and straightforward, that. Well, it is straightforward, but I mean, that guy again, that was a really good playthrough, if I'm being honest. I'm happy with that. Now this is where it starts getting difficult. Get out just before the Death Star explodes. Solid performance, that, and we got an extra life, which is always nice. All ships check in. So far, so good. We did it, let's go. What have you got to say? No sweat. I love how 90s that is. No sweat, Fox. Sick. Oh, 90. Nice. Onwards to the next bit I can't remember. We've done Armada, isn't it? Is it like the planet now? Surface of the planet. Venom. No, it can't be. No, Meteor, that's it. Meteor, and then it's Venom. The other levels are like one's a medium and one's a hard, and the levels themselves are just so hard, but they're really good. Battle-based Meteor. Be sure you use the retros if you're going too fast. Be careful with my R-wings. Cheers. Thanks for that. Be careful with my R-wings. What a dickhead. I'm risking life and limb here, mate. Anyhow, right, these things, right? Bit of a strap for you. Wait until you blow them up a little bit, because they tend to fall back. And if they do, then they'll fall on you, which is not ideal, and they do a shitload of damage. These things on the side, they will kind of come into shot. Is that? Don't worry about it. See, they always say thanks. Like I say, you don't mind as much that much. Sorry. Nice. Now that is the top level of gunpowder. Shit. Settle down. Which does quite a bit of damage. Now, the key to a good clear on this is to try and, oh god almighty, try and make this power up last as much as possible. Now, it's hard to do it without dying, I'll level with you, but it's made easier not to die when you've got this gun, because this gun blows everything up quicker. Shit. It's alright, it's alright. The stuff on here is just tricky, do you know what I mean? I should really... Piss off, alright, I ain't in the mood now. Do you know what I mean? I'll let you friggin' get shot next time, you cretin. Oh, come on! God, I'm really struggling here. God, I could do with some energy, I really could. Oh, come on. Nice. Not a great deal, but, like, it's just... Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just enough. I'll take that little knock, it's not a problem. Hang on. Touch! Is that you? Sorry. Sorry, I was worried about nearly dying. Nice. Right, I swear in a bit, two thingies come out of nowhere. Let's go through this one. Nice. I mean, that was it. I guess, for being honest with you. It's alright, I got it. Don't worry about it. Get out of the way, then. God almighty. I know it's you, mate. You're flying right in front of me, though. Right, boss time. This boss, quite tough, to be honest with you. What you got to do is try and shoot his legs out so he goes into this kind of spinning pattern thing. And then he'll come kind of closer. And when he comes closer, what you need to do... Come on. Bollocks, as if that hit me. Get fucked. Is get underneath him. Therein lies the pattern. So you need to blast his legs out. He'll come close. You can get under him. And now, when his legs have gone red like this, you've got to not get greedy when he comes close. Now, getting it by... Come on. Oh, God almighty. Tits, I'm not doing very well here. Although he hasn't got many of those legs left. You don't have many left at all. Christ. That's the one. Like, if he hits you with that lava thing, yeah, you're done. Basically. Anything else, you can take a couple of shots off. Oh! God almighty, that was tense, wasn't it? We did it, though. All ships. Ships? All ships check in. So far, so good, good. Yeah, I know what you're going to say. No sweat, yeah. No sweat at all. I mean, you'd probably have some kind of chat stroke informal debriefing with, like, the frog, because he needs a bit of help. The rabbit you'd probably have a drink with. The falcon you'd end up chinning, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? You're a fox, though, aren't you? I mean, I don't know. Would a fox kill a falcon? What do you think? I can't Google it, obviously, but they're... An actual fox? I know a falcon's a massive bird of prey, but you'd fancy a fox if you could get hold of it. But then how big a falcon we took? We're talking a peregrine falcon. Do you know what I mean? Those things are massive. Anyhow, details. Venom, the final goal. Andross is hiding on Venom. Fox, you must find his core brain and destroy it. That's a bit harsh. Only the taste of brains can ease the pain. Right, I think I am going to go... I'm going to stay cockpit view with this one, because there is a lot of stuff that I could do with the view. Don't worry about it. Right. Watch your head. Shut up. Right, I ain't in the mood for this today. If I remember rightly, this is the level with the bird that you see that flies along. There's a random bird that turns up, and every time you hit it, it drops one of those yellow, one of them, basically. Which is dead handy if you get rinsed. No, that isn't a shield, it's an enemy spacecraft. Gutted. See, the actual yellow lasers aren't a big problem. They don't... Yeah, you don't tend to get hurt too much by them. The missiles you get wounded by, and the ones that look like the bullets I'm firing now, they wound as well. But most of the other stuff isn't too bad, really. I ain't getting all them. I think you get a bonus if you get them all. Nice. This looks like it should be a power-up. Hey, it's me still. Oh, tits. We're doing alright. Yeah, no. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Right, oh, can we get through there? Yeah. See, you can kind of take them out before they even appear, which is kind of handy. Well, very handy. It's not kind of handy. Bogey on my six. Here we are. He talks like Dr. Sanchez out of a dark place. Wasp on my tail, dag. War of the Wasps. You've earned yourself a third correct. I love Garth Marenghi's Dark Place so much. Long-time fans of this channel will know there's usually always some kind of Garth Marenghi's Dark Place stroke Dr. Sanchez type reference in these epistles. You and he were buddies, weren't you? Right, anyhow, boss time. Enough dicking around. Is this the one where... Yeah, it just keeps moving. Shoots a lot of bullets, though. It's the bit where it splits into 3, I think, does it? And there's only one of them that's real. And it's that one. Absolutely drilled him. Yeah, you better piss off, son. All ships, check in. Say the same thing you've said every time. Good job, dickhead. You better hope after this I don't catch you on land. What are we on there? 100, though? Settle down. I'm happy with that, as you probably tell. Right, this bit, right? Legitimately hard, this bit. Right, I need to focus here. I don't need the cockpit view, I need this view, yeah. Tough, this. Now, stay with the flat end, as we remembered. Okay? It's alright, it's alright. Didn't get it too hard there. God, I haven't got time for this now. No drama. Just fucking try not to get in trouble again. That's a good leader, innit? Yeah, try not to fuck up again, will you? Nice. Right, stay with the flat ends. It isn't this one. It's another one. Right. Can I change that? Yeah. Now what I need to do... Yeah, perfect. Try and follow this line through. That's the problem. You've still got friggin' enemies to try and take out. I know. Don't worry about it. I'm on it. Sorted. Right. Jesus Christ. Right. Oh. Oh, bollocks. Not too bad though. I have only been at temp fate once as I get it again. Typical. I think there might be some energy here, but I've got to try and use retros wherever possible here because this is tough. Right. That's why the retro things are so handy here, to be honest with you. Nice. Come on. It's not worth... I've already got enough bombs. It's not worth risking it. Fuck off. See, I don't really need that. I need to get on this side of this. That's the wrong button. God, I might have shit myself a bit then. Right. Not too bad so far. Here he is, the guy that you nearly killed last time. So, what you gotta do this time is do that quickly, because what he'll do, we did that really well, we didn't take a lot of damage there. He'll split in a 3. But here's the problem, he's not actually dead. Turns into this thing. The problem with this thing is he's got loads of attacks and it's easy to try and stay in the pocket and get dead greedy, but as soon as he does that recoil attack, you can't actually, or that recoil from getting hit, excuse me, you can't actually hit him anyway. So you really have got a proper stick and move against him. There's no point in staying in the same spot for longer than you have to. So like here, for example. Where is he? There he is. See his shadow. So as soon as he plants, if he looks like he's going to fire, do you know what I mean? You have to keep moving, especially if he does this thing again where he splits into it. He splits in at 3. Let's have a look. Managed to take him. There you go. If you wait till he lands, it might be worth using a bomb on him, to be honest. Yeah, got him a bit with that. That's decent. I want to save my bombs for the next bit, but... Ah, tits. I should have seen that, really. Do it again, is he? No. Pop the retros in there. That's decent. Got it. Got him. Oh, happy with that. That's a solid performance. Tough boss he is. Very tough. No rest for the wicked. Straight on. So as you might imagine, this bit quite hard. Fox, you are indeed a worthy foe. That's Andross. I'm not going to read this in case I crash. Do it in your own silly voice. It's alright. Your armings have no chance against me. We'll have to see about that now, won't we? Right, so Andross, what you need to do is pick an eye. I'm going to go left. Nice, I'm happy with that. Try not to stay in one spot for too long. Back on that eye. And then he's got 2 stages basically. This is the second one, so you can't die here. You best it in retros though, because it just throw you back a bit further. And then what he'll do is spit all these tiles out and you have to try and avoid them all. Now these absolutely wound, as you might imagine, if you get it by him, so... Didn't do well there. I think is that one? Yeah, one eye down, so right. What we've got to try and do is another 2 dodge patterns, so... What you want to try and do is go from one side to the other, so you end up back towards the side you want to take. Because we want to take that pretty much. Oh, he's hit one of them. That's not too bad. Bit of a shot. I might be able to get this next time. Right, so. Oh, God. Did I get it there? That's nice. I've got a nice firing line there. Oh, didn't quite get it. I thought I had that then. Focus, though. It's still doable. Just got to stay on target. Focus lock back on. Shit, I didn't need that. Oh, come on. He's so nearly dead here. Gotta focus, though. It's so easy to get clipped on this bit. Right, back round. Come on. Oh, come on. I might try a bomb next time. It's about starting on this one side, though. Slowing down and swooping across. Get in it. Got it. Let's drop that in. Oh, shot. Oh, I thought I got him with that. Come on. It's friggin' high, though. That's the line we need. Need not to get it, though, while I'm doing it. Come on. There you go. Eye's gone. Now, what I need to do is I've just got to focus on this box. I've got to get this. And that, my friends... Oh, God, I thought I hadn't got that. It isn't one credit as advertised. It's one life as advertised. It's an accidental achievement run. Sick. Let's get going, shall we? God almighty, that was tense near the end with that Andross fight. Good though, right? All ships check in. Ribbit, I'll bring up the rear, Fox. I'm behind you, Fox. I'm with you, Fox. Of course you are. Let's get out of here, shall we? The irony, I might never have played this as good as in ages. And I might never played a better game of Starwing than this one. One take Jake over here. Unbelievable. It's like a real proper sense of achievement to this. I wondered if it could, I could one life it. I really did. So you get your scores now. 80, 85. Oh, 95, sorry. 95, 89, 90. They're all pretty high. 91. I know there's 100 in there somewhere, is there? Yep, stage 500. That's decent. Stage 6, 96. What's the overall? It's got to be 92, 93-ish. Surely. Does it give you an overall? I can't even remember. Yes, it does. 92? Oh, no. Total score. My mistake. 93, though. 56,100. God, I got such a rush with that Andross fight. It's amazing. It's still, do you know what I mean? Still to this day, what we're talking, like 24 years on. Sitting in on a Thursday night with a cup of tea. And saving the world. What else are you going to do, right? This was so unique, this title. And now what you see is you see the... like a boss profile kind of rundown, which is quite cool. Gives you the name of the boss, size and dimensions, and also weapons. What you see in this title, and what you see in games like this, but specifically this one, I suppose, of the FX games, was a statement of intent, because this was something that nothing else could do. Like, it wasn't until you got things like the Atari Jaguar, which was much later, that could handle rendered polygons, and if you're being honest, they were wank. The Atari Jaguar was one of the worst consoles, one of the worst conceptually designed consoles. You've only got to look at the control pad. Google it if you haven't seen it. Google Atari Jaguar control pad. It's ridiculous. Looks like a 90s landline. Absolute bollocks. But there was nothing else around at the time, really, console-wise, that could kind of reproduce this. Like, realistically, I mean, people say, oh, you could get a Neo Geo and the AES was out. Yeah, but who could afford one of them? They were like 300 quid, and then the games were 150 quid each. Do you know what I mean? Good job with a Neo Geo. Like, at this time, if you played consoles and it was early 90s, you had two choices, really. It was like, if you wanted to play consoles, people played like computers, whole computers were getting more powerful. You had Amigas, Ataris, the 600, the ST, the 1200. Like, people were looking at PC gaming was kind of starting to really kind of take hold. But if you were a console gamer, if you were serious about consoles at that time, and you weren't a millionaire, then you had two choices. It was SNES or Mega Drive. And the battle that they had created so much in terms of innovation from the other party. Like, Nintendo would see what Sega did and would be forced to kind of squeeze more and more and more out of their system, and vice versa. It was healthy competition. You didn't have one console with a massive market share, and it's good in a funny kind of way. You don't see it these days because there's very few in the range of the way of, I suppose, exclusive titles as there was then. Like, there was to find a title then that was on both formats was rarer than finding than it not being. Like, you expected exclusive stuff, and that was the whole thing with buying one over another. If you wanted to play Mario, then you had to have a SNES, and if you wanted to play Sonic, then you had to have a Mega Drive. It was that simple, and you were never going to see those kind of cross over. But you were never going to see them cross over because the hardware was different, not just because of the rights and because what each company was trying to do. And this is one of those ones that is a kind of double statement of intent. It's not only, look at this is what a console can do, you can't have it. It's also, well, you couldn't handle it even if you could have it. Nintendo could have given Sega this license at that point, and they wouldn't have been able to do anything with it. The Mega Drive later on developed a lot of games were developed with this kind of scaling. You think of the obsession that came around in the mid to late 90s with 3D gaming. Last week we had a look at Street Fighter EX Plus, the week before Street Fighter EX, and they were kind of in that awkward thing where it was a 2D game that looked 3D, and they embraced a kind of new technology, and that's what this was about as well. This was trying to make that futuristic looking game with these rotating shapes and all these 3D rendered polygons, and it was something that there's just such a magic to it. It's so Nintendo, and it's so of the time. It's one of the greatest games of this nature that I think I've ever played, simply because it's just so it feels more than, like, the thing with rail shooters, things like Space Area and things of that nature, is that you never really feel like you're properly kind of in control of it. Whereas with this, like, you have to go forward. It tells you, but there's so many kind of, no two boss fights are ever the same. No two trips through Ben Cheese though. No, that can't be that geezer's real name. No, no two trips through a level are ever the same, because you've got that speed up and slow down. You've got that fly sideways. You've got barrel rolls. Do you know what I mean? You can fly horizontally and vertically, and you can go up and down and around, and all the times that you and especially if you play the harder levels, if you play like the different runs, they're never the same twice, because there's so many enemies, and you have to kind of go certain ways to avoid certain things, and that's just the joy of it. And that was the joy of gaming at that time. Like, these games pushed the boundaries, just in the way that the developers of these games kind of pushed what was possible on these systems. In turn, games players themselves had to react, had to get better, and had to constantly strive to kind of find new things. And there was loads of hidden stuff in this, and it's not as easy as it is now in terms of finding out about that hidden stuff. You can't just look it up. You have to figure it out. If you didn't know how to do it, or you didn't have a magazine that told you how to do it, then what were you going to do? You're either going to stop playing it, or you're going to keep playing it till you figured it out. And that, in a nutshell, is how gaming of this era works. Like, you're either good enough to beat it, or you're not good enough to beat it. Like, there's no like downloadable content. There's no kind of, you can't buy an extra to make it easier. Like, if I turn my SNES on upstairs and plug in Super Pro Protector, guess what? It's the same game that I played like 25 years ago. and it's still going to be the same thing. I'm still going to have to try and use the same mechanics to win. Like, nothing's changed. I don't have to plug it in and download 8 gigs worth of patches and then watch a load of tutorials and then ask if I want any downloadable content and then post it to my Facebook or any of that. Like, and I can't play, like, with these kind of games, not this one specifically, but with this era games, like, multiplayer is kind of people sitting around and hanging out rather than jumping on your PlayStation and getting somebody screaming, hollering, getting some 12-year-old American hollering abuse about your mum. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's not really multiplayer at that point. Like, you don't really know these people unless you meet these people. You don't know these people, and that's the point. Like, gaming then of this era, the early 90s video gaming, multiplayer meant people round houses. Do you know what I mean? It meant like bringing your own control pad. Who's got the multi-tap? Do you know what I mean? It meant 4-player Bomberman. It meant 4-player NBA Jam or FIFA or Bomberman 2 or any of those games that you could play multiplayer, that got people together. And that, in a nutshell, is a big part of gaming that's missing now, because, like, you could play... I speak to loads of people who say, oh, I play loads of multiplayer games, but the process remains the same. Like, I'm sitting playing this game now, like, this isn't multiplayer, this is me playing it, and I'm still, I don't know, I'm nearly 40, I guess. Do you know what I mean? I guess I'm like, I find it hard to embrace. As much as I played, like, online stuff, and I played World of Warcraft for quite a while, but it's different. Do you know what I mean? It's like I never, the best times, like, people say to me, oh, what are your best, like, memories of playing multiplayer video games? It's not playing MMORPGs with a load of people I never really met. It's like, it's hanging out with my actual friends playing SNES or do you know what I mean? In the glorious summer of 1997, playing nothing but video games with my friends, you know what I mean? Playing nothing but PlayStation games, playing Tekken and Soul Blade and Time Crisis, and do you know what I mean? And all that good stuff, and all that stuff we still do now. Do you know what I mean? With the original Four Horsemen, so to speak, who I still hang out with on a kind of whenever we all get time kind of basis, because most of them have got kind of real responsibilities and families now, where I still, do you know what I mean, cling to the fact that I'm just some kind of giant man-child. But what I'm going to do now, let's see if it goes for me if I press start. Does it? No, it doesn't. I guess that really is the end. Right then, I'm going to wrap this up, I think. I was waiting for it, like, I'd say I was rambling, but I just got into that big spiel, and I thought, I wonder what happens now. I'll tell you what happens now, the game finishes. Hang on, let me just see. No, that really is it. Right, and that's weird, isn't it, that you'd have to, imagine getting that high score, you'd have to get your camera out and everything. I'm going to go now, and I'm going to probably eat some toast, if I'm being realistic, because that's what I usually do after this. And, I don't know, think about what game I'm going to do next, obviously. The multi-part long play is going really well. I am currently 9 episodes into it, the recording of this. So hopefully by the time you get this video, there should be more details about what we're doing and how I'm going to release it. But it's going to be big. I warn you in advance, it's going to be absolutely massive. But that's good, right? Until next time, my very good friends, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon for another episode of One Credit Classics. Take care.